This is a segment of the up-and-coming The Whole Chessboard video. I hope you enjoy. I've gone over the duality or dark versus light Freemason infrastructure, but let's look at it through the lens of today and the people placed within media, which many subscribe as good or evil, depending on how the storytellers of today spin their tales and use the Hegelian dialectics. What makes something good? What makes something evil? Believe it or not, there is a book that tells you what is good and what is evil. Our society is smothered in dark versus light Freemasonry. Today, we have the Great Reset versus the Great Awakening, Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, Gavin Newsom versus Ron DeSantis, Build Back Better versus Make America Great Again, Russia versus Ukraine, Putin versus Biden. The jab will save you. The jab will destroy you. All of your freedoms are being taken away from you versus freedom to do anything you want. Both lead to destruction. Gender swapping, which is far more sinister than most are aware of. The duality presents two options like Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative. People who offer alternative ways of thinking or different solutions outside of this duality are laughed at or ignored because throughout our life we have been programmed into seeing this duality as normal and not a system of control. A strategy that is used to place people into the duality media for the purpose of control is to point them against a narrative that is being pushed on society through media. For example, we have all heard about Jordan Peterson. And if you remember how he rose to fame or infamy, depending on which side of the duality scale you preside, he was cast to the public as the University of Toronto professor speaking out on gender terminology being changed or redefined in Canadian legislature under Bill C-16 and the issue of compelled speech.
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me.
This came about in 2016, and in 2022, just 6 years later, we can see the insanity that has been cast over the world. Bill C-16 was just the revealing of the gender cult transformations that have been going on for millennia. Its goal was to bring it to light and bring our children into the cult ritual. Jordan Peterson was never about stopping it. Jordan Peterson was the excuse to bring the argument into both sides of the room. And if he was really causing a disturbance in the plans of the bloodline families, he would be dead. He certainly wouldn't have millions of dollars as a university professor. Jordan Peterson has also joined forces with fellow Kabbalist Ben Shapiro on the Daily Wire. Both characters rose to fame by arguing against the liberal stance of gender-safe spaces at the same time in 2016-2017, and followed the same path. Both attended Harvard, a Jesuit recruitment center. Both have the narrative that the liberals tried to take them out, and both were propped up by conservative media and struck down in liberal media. Now, they work together to fight the insanity of liberalism, or, in reality, just keeping the duality propaganda flowing. Liberals, Democrats, and conservatives, Republicans are pre-programmed for this duality, so their rise appears normal and expected or predictable, and their fast rise is then accepted by the masses. Now take a look at Donald Trump and his rise to fame or infamy. It was organized and planned. Look at the term MAGA. MAGA is literally the highest degree in the Satanic Church. Do you honestly believe that a puppet couldn't be removed if the ancient bloodlines were being exposed and destroyed? Donald Trump is just another narrative, and the deep state that is being exposed right now is just a branch of the Freemason tree that is made up of the mundane humans that listen to these bloodlines and join the occult societies for power and greed. Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Donald Trump will all disappear, along with people like Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk, all being controlled opposition and tools for the ancient bloodlines, who will no longer be required in an AI-controlled next world order.